Lahavan in Shisha Kitsavot, to understand the six directions. So part of what's going on here is the language. Sometimes the language that's used in any form of literature, sometimes it build its own language and has meanings that are similar to other things. Other times it's different. So part of my story of how I got here is I was reading Imrei Binah, which is by his son, second Rebbe Chabad, and noticed that he was building up his own language. It wasn't, the same as, let's say, everything else out there. And in the footnote, they said, go look at this, you'll see he explains it all, or sets the stage for what the Mittler Rebbe does in Imrei Binah. So we're going to read through here, and I think the real chiddush is the language. And I'll explain it as I understand it. Obviously, if you can help me understand it, we'll understand it together, please do be in contact. There's a lot to figure out here. So the six directions, up, down, left, right, front to back. So they do correspond to spiritual ideas and forces, our orientation in 3D space. These six directions, two axes, they correspond to spiritual ideas, which is why it's the work of Torah, trying to figure things out. Let's say during praying, davening, we face a direction. Usually we face east. East in Hebrew would be either Mizrach, or more like, let's say, biblical Hebrew would be Kedem. Kedem is forward. So, but the real guidepost that we're supposed to pray towards is the Kodesh HaKodashim, the Holy of Holies, the center of the temple in Jerusalem. Now, so just orient ourselves in three-dimensional space, cardinal directions. South is to your right if you are facing east, and north is to your left. Now let's try to see if that's true. I'm facing east right now. This is my right, south. North is to my left. Okay. And here I am. I'm facing east. Okay. So let's go. So Malamata, up and down, Mizrach Umarav, east and west, Safon and Daram, north and south. So Hine, the Lashon HaKodesh, Mizrach Kedem. So east, Mizrach is Kedem. Umarav Achor, Mashketav Achor v'Kedem Tzartani. In the creation of the world, there was a front and back to it. So what that means here, if we say Kedem is Mizrach, it means west and east you fashioned me. But Safon and Daram, so north and south. So hu yamin usmol, those are north and south. Mashketav at Safon, the yamin ata berata. So you could read it as follows: Safon and the left you created. So it means, let's say you were facing towards let's say you were facing west. So then to your left would be, let's say you were facing east. So then to your yamin, your right, would be south. Then to your left, safon, that would be your small. So let's say safon is small and yamin is daram, south. So bir ha'inyan demala umata, so up and down. Hu ha'ikar. The most important thing is, first, there's this up and down direction. Shebechol of these six directions, the shisha kitzavot, lihiot ki inyanam hu yiridat hashefa min hamashpia. The most important thing is, let's say I'm the one talking, so I'm the mashpia, so you are opposite me. There's a process of connection, communication going on. And so hula mala mala, yiridat hashefa mata mata. We can describe this going from up to down, me to you, as if it could also be switched. If you, let's say you say something to me, go up from, let's say, this is all metaphorical. It's like up in your head, you have the idea, and it comes down to me in my understanding of what you said. I could be wrong in my understanding of what you said. Ela shemit pashetet. Between the idea getting from me to you or you to me, hashefa, there's a spreading out. Achar kach arba sitrin, mizrach umarav, tzafon and darim. So that's to say, there's a directionality up and down. In the middle of it, there's a spreading out in another 2 dimensions. So a total of 3 dimensions. The ikar hi atchalta shefa, the kalota shefa, shumalamata. The most important thing is the idea starts up here and ends down here. Yes, in the middle it expands, kind of like clay on a potter's wheel. But the most important thing is it starts somewhere and ends somewhere, and that's expressed through up and down, ma'ala, up, and mata, down. Raksh be'emtsaut, ashpa'a, ad shechal mata, until it concludes to a point, both an intellectual point, and in this metaphor of 3 dimensions, a point as well. And it extends in these 4 cardinal directions in a 2-dimensional plane. Okay. So al derech mashal, like the metaphor. Sometimes you could have a story, many words, and trying to express something. Obviously, every idea has an essential summary, okay, which is the essential point, which is the inner point also. It's pnimiut. So these other words, the explanation, the side points, perhaps, they're less important. But if you didn't have them in the presentation would be missing something. And also, who says that the essential summary would be able to be communicated? It's not entirely possible. Okay.